right, ladies and gentlemen, the high quality boys are back in your ear holes to talk about NBA. Free agency is upon us. Only like 2 days away, 3 days away is when the what's that shit called?
Negotiations start.
The 20th,
and
on
then you
Friday.
can sign the 22nd.
And you can sign on Sunday. And some big time trades have already taken place.
Yes,
This
sir.
is your one-stop destination for NBA expertise and analysis. You don't need to go anywhere else. You don't need to go to Chris Broussard or any of them other boys.
Who?
Chris Broussard.
Yeah.
Who?
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. I regret even saying his name. No name dropping. No free clout on this channel.
Yeah.
All right.
What up?
What's going on, brothers? Been a minute.
How we doing? Been a little minute.
Last time
Know
we were
what
on
I'm
here,
saying?
we were celebrating with Herm.
Hey, NBA's coming back quick, man.
It is.
Love to see it.
What a quick turnaround, bro. We already started like game time.
I know.
Hey,
We
they
ready.
They couldn't miss that Christmas money, man. I'm telling you.
Yo, I know you're big on that.
That's
You're
a big day.
We were saying that on this channel for a long time.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Like before the season even came back, that was the NBA was like,
God, we are so smart. Holy
we
shit.
really are geniuses. All right,
Let's get into it, man. Let's get into it.
let's get into it
Yeah.
with probably one of the bigger trades of the past several seasons. Honestly, I was shocked by this. The Detroit Pistons trade Bruce Brown to the Brooklyn Nets for Dezana Musa,
Bro,
a second round pick.
Wait, what?
Let's get into this one, guys. So
Yeah.
we heard when
I
where were you? This is one of those trades where, like the Kawhi Leonard trade or the Kawhi Leonard side
Yep.
with the Clippers, you knew exactly where you were and you remember exactly where
Yeah.
you were when news dropped. Where were you guys?
I was
I didn't
I was-
know this trade.
I was
didn't
deep.
know this trade existed.
I was deep in a European basketball recruitment subreddit thread,
Yeah.
and that's where I found this information. Yeah, they're like, "Yo, big trade coming through."
Oh, Herm discovered this trade in the depths of Reddit.
Yes.
Oh no.
The deep dark
No.
gutter,
Oh no.
the slums of
The
Reddit.
dark
And
place.
somehow he didn't know about the Jrue Holiday trade.
I know. How'd you not hear about that? No, obviously it's a joke. I don't even know who Musa is. I've never heard of this guy. I do
Is that
know.
a person?
Huh?
Is that a person? I just went along with it.
No, this is a real trade that happened. Dejan Musa.
You're lying.
No, I swear.
Wow.
I mean, I don't know. I do know who Bruce Brown is, but I have no idea who this Musa guy is.
I
All
thought,
right,
I thought it was Bruce Bowen. All right, go ahead.
here we go. Here's an actual big trade. The Lakers, kind of a shocking trade, honestly. I never really we kind of figured Dennis Schroder might be on the move, but I never really thought the Lakers. But the Lakers get Dennis Schroder for Danny Green and a first round pick and for tomorrow night's draft, 28th overall. Herm. Whoever.
It feels good. It feels good. I think because I'm pretty sure the Rondo's going to leave. We'll talk about Rondo here in a little bit too, but I think he's going to leave. So having a point guard that can be there for play as a backup or a backup point guard for LeBron. I mean, he could start at the 2 as well, but with him being like a backup facilitator out there, I like that. I like that move for the Lakers. I mean, I'm gonna miss Danny. Shouts out Danny, but I think that even with Rondo, if we were to have Rondo for next season as our starting point guard, it would have been relied. We would have relied too much on him. He's just going to be one of those short burst guys at the end of the year. But I like what Dennis Schroder. I think he has a little dog in him too. So I'm excited to see him in that Lakers jersey too.
Yeah, I like the move as well. I've always been kind of a shooter fan, which is funny because Herm wasn't a shooter fan probably like 4 days ago.
Chill. Hey, he's on my team now. He's on my team now. I'm finna get it. I'm finna get the blonde shirt.
I actually have a few friends that are pure shooter haters. but
Wait, what? Why?
I don't know. They just don't like the way he plays. Too a little loosey-goosey out there, a little cocky for some, and they don't quite think he's good enough to be as cocky as he is.
Okay.
But I mean, you see the flashes, and I think, like Herm said, with Rondo leaving, kind of a backup point guard role, come in, play some. He can play 25, 30, even 35 minutes if they need him. Get a little younger, and he can score. And he'll give you effort on the defensive end. He's long, and I think it's a good move. And if Danny Green had played probably a little bit better, they probably don't get off of him as quick. But he didn't really play all that well, so it's not a bad move. I think it's a good move.
Yeah.
Shouts out Oklahoma City for just stashing away these picks, man. Stashing these picks away.
Oh yeah, and then obviously like Danny Green probably doesn't finish the season with the Thunder. You would imagine.
Yep.
Right.
Unless he's utter shit.
Yeah. Yeah, if he
And,
picks
you
it
know,
up, if he picks
yeah,
it,
go ahead.
no, yeah, if he picks it up, and he's shooting 45% from three. I mean, some other team is gonna try to move after him for a first round pick for the trade deadline. So I think it's a good idea for them too. It's a good move for them.
Yeah, 100%. I like this trade for both teams.
Yep.
All right, next up, again, the Thunder getting assets. This is a big trade right here.
Jeez.
Chris Paul goes to the Suns, along with Abdel Napier. Forgot about that. And then
Yeah, respect it.
And then the Thunder get Kelly Oubre, Ricky Rubio, Ty Jerome, Jalen LeCue, and a 2022 first-round pick, which I think has protections on it. I could be wrong.
Yeah, I think it does too.
I mean, finally the Suns are, making a move somewhere, help Booker out a little bit. Hopefully Ayton can be on the floor and not be, kind of messing around doing whatever he be doing. Hopefully he can kind of, be a little bit more serious. Seems like he's kind of never really fully into whatever the Suns are trying to do. And obviously we saw the Suns have a really nice bubble. I don't think we should be too overhyped. I think they still need some more pieces before I think they're going to be any kind of real team beater in the Western playoffs. So I'm sure a lot of people are going to overhype the Suns like they always do.
Dude, this team's looking nice.
Yeah,
I like
no,
Chris Paul
I'm
as
never going to
deep
buy into
point
the
guard,
Suns
bro.
hype. I'm never going to do it. I'm never going to buy into the Suns hype.
Brett hates Devin Booker. You guys have to understand, man.
It's not true. I do not hate Devin Booker. I think he's really good.
Well, you're not a fan.
D-Book is nah.
I'm a fan
D-Book
of
is
Devin
nice.
Booker.
Come on,
I am
respect
a
it.
fan. I think it's
Just say you don't like him, and we can move on.
I think it's just like it's like a Suns thing. They're kind of like the Cleveland Browns of the NBA. It's like a mentality that kind of seeps through the team, and they just kind of like end up, kind of self-imploding. And so until they kind of turn that culture around completely, I'm just not going to be fully bought in.
Well, here's an interesting
I think it's
question.
only.
Oh no,
Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
No,
This
you're
can
good.
wait.
You're
This can
good.
wait. Do you think
All
that the Suns would have made this move if they didn't go undefeated in the bubble?
Probably not.
You think they would have just ran it back?
Maybe not
No,
ran it back, but maybe they thought we're not. Maybe going undefeated in the bubble led them to believe, if we bring a piece in, we can compete 100%.
Definitely make the playoffs. Yeah.
I think they're for sure a playoff team. But like Brett said, I don't know if they're contenders or anything, because you got to think the Thunder are falling out for sure.
Yeah.
The Rockets are more than likely out.
That is what we thought about the Thunder last year. I know it's obviously without Chris Paul now, but you just really never know sometimes.
That's true, but the Thunder are. You could tell the Thunder are actively trying to lose now.
Right.
Yeah.
Like they were kind of trying to lose, and then
But it's a dogfight at the bottom of the West, man. No matter what's going on, it is a dogfight to get that 8 spot.
Yeah.
No matter who you are.
Oh yeah, and before we started, I saw literally 10 minutes before we started, the NBA confirmed that they were doing the play-in tournament again.
Ooh, let's go.
I liked it.
So the 8-9 thing, just like this summer.
I think there's more than that actually.
Okay.
I could be wrong. I mean, this literally just happened, so I didn't really read into it. But yeah, so
Yeah,
again,
I mean, they're gonna be one of those teams fighting for that though.
right. Here it is. If NBA officially announces playing game for the 7 and 8 seeds, the teams in
For the
7 and
7
8
seed,
have to win once, 9 and 10. So 10's in play too.
Okay.
Interesting.
Okay.
So you just gotta be in the top 10 to be a player, and I think the Suns for sure. I mean, the West is gonna be tough. Period.
Right.
Yeah.
If the Thunder really rebuild, and then if the Rockets rebuild, I think those are really the only 2 teams you can say are for sure gonna be bad.
Those teams at least are gonna fall out.
I mean, we're gonna get to the Rockets. I don't know if we want to jump into them now.
Yeah,
but
let's wait.
Okay.
But yeah. So this is I like the trade for both sides.
Yep.
Yeah, I do too. I'm excited to see what Chris Paul does in Phoenix.
And then we sort of the same thing with Danny Green. I mean, Kelly Oubre, Ricky Rubio, those are 2 guys you could flip for even more picks and assets around the deadline. Some people want Ricky Rubio for sure.
Rubio, I think he's on I think he still has some money left on his deal. I think Oubre is one of those guys that you can flip a little bit, or I want to make sure that his contract is. So I think he might be a little bit easier to flip. But yeah, I think both of those guys do have an opportunity for that to be the case, for them to sort of flip that to get some extra picks too. You know how my boy Stan Presti likes to do.
100%. Wait, so do they have to play games? What's
before they get traded?
Is it 60 days, right?
Yeah,
Something
it's 60 days after they sign. So no, they don't have to necessarily play a game, but I want to say it's just 60 days after they sign, then they can be traded again.
But in theory though, if the Clippers were to miss out on Rondo or something, and they said, "Oh damn, we didn't know Rubio was available," they could call in on this trade and it would become like a 3-team trade almost. That's something
I don't know if you could do, or maybe you can just wait until afterwards, like after this trade is done, and then pick them off. Maybe, unless you could finagle some like 3-way trade in there too.
Well, that's
that
sort of
is
my
a
question.
possibility, I guess.
Is like, am I thinking of like draft picks or something? You have to wait X amount of days before you can trade them.
Before you trade it. No, I think it's the same thing for trade assets too. I'm pretty sure it is.
All right, that's what I thought. Because there's some like, we'll get into some of these other trades, but there's some teams getting like veteran players who I think could be trade assets later down the line.
Trade assets, or maybe bought out or something too.
Yeah, 100%. And this is probably the biggest trade right here. The Milwaukee Bucks, man, they go all in. Jrue Holiday. They also get 2 seconds in this year's draft for Eric Bledsoe, George Hill, 3 firsts, all 3 unprotected, and 2 pick swaps. The first are 2020, 2025, 2027. The 2 swaps are 2024, 2026. So after this year, they're not getting a pick until 2024.
I don't know.
That's a lot.
I think off the rip, I think they got better. Their starting lineup got a little better, but just for all the picks and everything, is it crazy better for 3 first-rounders down the road? I don't know.
If you're bad, it's 5 first-rounders. Like if Giannis leaves or something, you don't have half a decade worth of first-round picks.
Yeah, and that is like purgatory. It's like NBA purgatory.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, just like Brett said, off the rip, starting lineup. I mean, it sounds pretty. Jrue Holiday, Bogdanovic, Chris Middleton, Giannis, and Brook Lopez. That's a solid starting 5.
No, that's a really good starting 5.
Pretty solid starting 5. But is it? I mean, I guess at the end of the day, they're just begging and pleading for Giannis to stay. So is this going to be enough for him to stay? What is he looking for them to stay? Is he looking for a superstar?
His play is going to be the ultimate factor of how far this team goes. I mean, Jrue Holiday can probably help a little bit in the fourth quarter scoring. I mean, he can make his own shot. He can hit some threes. He can drive to the basket. He can pass, and he can defend.
Right.
I mean, he's a good player. But at the end of the day, it's going to be up to Giannis to carry this team to the finals.
I mean, Drew is a massive upgrade over Bledsoe.
Offensively.
Yeah.
I mean, but let's not Bledsoe's not been good, dude.
There was times, though, where Bledsoe was, like, having huge moments for this team. Like, when they paid him, and he had a great night after he got paid. I mean, he was a big Bucks guy. It was just last year in the playoffs, he was awful.
And 2 years ago in the playoffs.
I guess that's what I meant, but...
Yeah, he definitely has bad moments in the playoffs sometimes.
Giannis hasn't been terrible in the playoffs either.
Yeah.
I mean, we just can't pretend. And, I mean, at the end of the day, it's going to be up to him.
Yeah.
And I don't know if this gets them over the hump. I mean, I said they need to make some moves to keep Giannis. I don't know if this is like, hey, Giannis, this is what we did for you, and then he's going to sign the Supermax now. I don't know if that's the deal, but, I mean, I don't know.
Well, I think...
You're looking at a Brooklyn team coming with KD and Kyrie next year. They're talking about adding Harden. Obviously, we'll talk about that. Like
Miami.
Yeah, you got Boston. Miami coming up. They're going to get better. Who knows what Philly's going to do? I have my question marks about Giannis and this Bucks team.
I have two like in my mind, it's either one or two things. It can't fall in between for the Bucks. Either one, Giannis essentially told them, "Yo, if you do this and this, I'll sign my Supermax this week, and I'll commit to the team for however long." Or they think that Giannis is more than likely leaving unless they win this year, so they're willing to mortgage their entire future essentially to make their team as good as possible.
Yeah, I think it's the latter. It's the second.
Is that even worth it though? I would try to trade Giannis or something.
And Jrue Holiday
get something back for him.
Injury problems half the time, doesn't he?
Well, even then, I keep seeing people say
before in the past.
I keep seeing people say, "Well, if this keeps Giannis, it was all worth it." I disagree, mainly because there's no way Jrue is worth this much, dude. I'm sorry, there's no way Drew's worth half a decade of picks potentially.
That's what I'm saying.
Shot.
There's no way. But it's like, sure, maybe it's worth it if you keep Giannis, but it's like, what were you bidding against? You know what I mean? Like if some other team, like I heard earlier today, the Nuggets were wanting Jrue too. If the Nuggets were throwing this many picks too, and you just had to keep one upping your offer in order to get them, that's one thing. But if the Nuggets were throwing like one pick or something, and then you came back with 5, that's objectively a bad deal, regardless of what Giannis does.
Maybe they're thinking that if we pay Giannis and we do end up having to blow it up, that we can get all this stuff kind of back if we end up trading Giannis. Maybe that's kind of what they're thinking.
Right. I mean, if
'Cause,
Giannis,
if you end up signing Giannis to a super max and then trade him here, in the next year, 2 years, I mean, it's going to be a retarded trade.
yeah,
Yeah, no. If you think that you're gonna have to trade Giannis, there's just no shot that you do this. Like, there's no shot that you do this. If you think, I don't know. I mean, it was just way too much for this. I'm curious to see if Giannis had like if they consulted Giannis about this. I would love to know that. I'm probably never gonna know that,
see,
but
they would have had to have. There's no way they make this move without Giannis saying,
without talking to him,
"Do it." Like, if
and
you
then
want
I'll
me to
do
stay,
X,
do
Y,
it.
Z.
Yeah.
But like, I would need if I was GM for Milwaukee, like I need something, dude. I know that you can't put anything in paper or writing or anything like that, but I can't just go off of your word, especially how NBA players are today. I do think Giannis is different than the majority of NBA superstars, but yeah, I don't know, bro. That's just a lot. That is a lot.
Because, like, honest to God, this sounds like it could have been a Harden trade. Like, maybe
Right.
replace
It was
Bledsoe with a
huge.
younger player, and I'd be like, oh, that makes sense. You get 5 picks for Harden. Of course, pick swaps can be anything, but like, if Giannis leaves, the Pelicans are swapping those picks.
Yeah,
The
because
Bucks
they're
will
gonna be terrible.
fucking terrible, and they won't
They're
have
gonna be
picks
terrible.
for 5 years.
Yep.
I mean, yeah,
And they're
the
gonna be
more-
bad
the
for
more
a
you
long
talk about
time.
This trade, the more you look at it, the kind of the worse it feels.
It's just
The
like,
worse it
again,
looks.
sure, maybe like if this trade makes you keep Giannis, like if this was the deciding factor for Giannis and Giannis stays because of this, that's one thing. But then
Yes.
it goes back to what I said. Who are you negotiating against? If you were just if you just were reeked of desperation, you gave the Pelicans whatever they wanted. It's a bad trade objectively. But if you
Yeah,
were,
who else is bidding for it? Yeah, Denver, like you said. I don't know who else is bidding it for him like that.
that's what I'm saying. Like, sure, you could look
Especially
at it
giving
that
up
way,
that
but-
much.
right? Like if they gave up 2 picks, that's fine. But you're giving up
Yeah.
your entire future.
Right.
Well, I mean, and you looked at the Bucks last year. I mean, what #1 rating in this, #1 rating in that, all time this, all time that, and then just shit themselves in the playoffs. Like, how much different? Like the core of the team, Giannis, is basically the same coach. I mean, you're the #1 team in the
That
East.
could be the issue right there.
I mean, we could have that conversation. I mean,
Mhm.
and I just don't see. I don't know. It's just hard to think that the team's gonna be that much better than they were last year.
Yo, you want to hear a
Yeah.
theory I just thought up right now?
Uh-oh.
People are saying that the Bucks are losing depth, which they have lost depth, obviously, with this trade and with the Bogey sign trade, which we'll talk about in a second. That could be a blessing in disguise, though. Because
So they're not running that many people?
Right. The worse your
Right.
depth is, the less Budenholzer feels inclined to just only play players for 30 minutes a game.
Mm-hmm.
And he
That
can
could be
let
a
Giannis go
possibility.
out there for 40 minutes.
That definitely ended up hurting them. We talked about that.
Yes.
Yeah, I think their issue is just more than that. They think that you just have to have someone that's just a late game fourth quarter scorer, and I still don't know if they have that. Like, just because if what Giannis is in the first 47 or in the first 45 minutes of a game versus the last 3 minutes of the game is a completely different player.
I think that's why a lot of people thought that CP3 made a lot of sense.
Yeah, I agree. CP3 there would have been awesome because he's clutch. Like, he can make baskets at the end of a game. He's small, which is usually I wouldn't want that as like my end game score, being that short. But like, I mean, he's made it happen time and time again. So I think that would have, that would have been a much better trade for them. But I don't know, man. I just yeah, Brett's right. I don't know how much better they can get. Like, how much better can they be? But the starting 5 sounds pretty fun though.
Their
honestly.
team definitely improved. That's the thing.
Yeah.
But did it Did it cement them as favorites?
Even coming out of the East, probably not. I don't know.
It's gonna be a fun season, though, that's for sure.
Yeah.
And I really do like Jrue. Like I know we just like said.
Yeah,
this
I
a lot,
love
but
Jrue Holiday. I
really
know.
like Jrue
Yeah,
Holiday.
yeah.
But this is
Jrue Holiday. If you're seeing this, I love you, man. You're
Yeah.
a great basketball
He's
player.
definitely a
Love you,
hooper.
Jrue. But
Yeah.
this is
SoCal.
this is a lot. Okay,
Yeah,
this
I
trade
think-
right
I
here.
think- one more
go ahead.
thing. I think all of our, just kind of our shakiness about it is all around Giannis. I think that's the majority of the reason why we're so shaky. We don't know
Yeah.
if he can get better at the end of the game.
You know, if Giannis had already had a supermax signed, it's a different story.
That'd have been fine. Yeah, I'd have been fine with this, honestly.
But if Giannis leaves,
Semi-fine.
If Giannis
Yeah.
leaves, this is one of the worst trades of all time.
Atrocious.
It's
And you
gonna
hate to be
go down to the
pragmatic
worst.
like that, but like it's just like it's a lens you have to look at, I guess, in the NBA a little bit.
Well, I guess what if they win a championship off the back of Jrue
And then Giannis
Holiday
dips?
and then Giannis dips, but you're shit for the next decade? It's probably worth it. I mean,
Yeah, for shit.
for
yeah,
sure.
I mean,
You
they
always
haven't
say
won since
that,
like
but
72 or something.
yeah, I feel like you would always say that, but the further away you get from the ship, the worse and worse it
Yeah.
feels.
Yeah.
All right, next trade. This is a trade that I think is it's not really that low key, but I think it's going to have a pretty big impact on the season. And that is the Portland Trailblazers getting Robert Covington for 2 first-round picks and Trevor Ariza.
Super nice for Portland.
Yeah,
Super
I love this
nice.
trade
Yeah,
for
it's nice for
Portland.
Portland. Me and Brett were talking about it the other day, but I was laughing. I was like, I mean, Robert Covington is an upgrade in that forward position from Trevor Ariza, but he's just like, I mean, he's just younger Ariza, basically.
Which is nice, though.
Another guy that can play the floor, another guy that can spread the floor, and that can defend well, because we always know that they always need more help in terms of perimeter defense. So that's definitely going to help them a lot.
I feel like that's just a good fit, because I feel like even when Portland got rid of Aminu, that was kind of a big loss for this team.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was.
Aminu was kind of one of those guys for a couple years. When Dallas, he was pretty nice for us, and then in Portland,
Rick never played him for whatever reason.
Well, you know, he can be a little inconsistent shooting the ball at times, but for everything else that he does, I thought what he did for Portland was huge, and this kind of fills that role for them again, and this kind of player that they needed.
Yeah, that's a really good point.
Yeah, whenever they lost those forwards, him and when they lost Aminu and Harkless, I think it was like 2 seasons ago or something like that. I was like, man, I don't know. I don't think they're going to be good. Like, those forward positions to begin with weren't like championship level forward players, and then they downgraded from there.
Well, if you look at Terry Stotts too, he comes from that Rick Carlisle, like, use everybody on the bench, put them in positions where everybody succeeds type of coaching, right? And yeah, I just think it's a good fit. I mean, like you said with Harkless, what have we seen from Harkless after he left Portland?
Yeah, and then I think he went to the Clippers. I don't think he did much there now.
I mean, it's kind of one of those things where certain players fit in certain situations better than others, and that's why I know we're going to get to this, but I always think players fit really well in Dallas because of Rick Carlisle for the most part, is that he puts guys in position, you know,
to succeed.
Yeah, when they play, that they're going to have their role figured out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's gonna give a lot of space to Dame. I mean, before their fours, I mean, Carmelo was their 4. I mean, he's respectable from 3, but Covington, he is like knocked down from 3. Like, you have to check him.
He's got the defense too.
And
defense definitely a lock as well. So I think it's gonna create space for both their guards.
Rocco played the 5.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, for Houston,
like, I don't think he's gonna play the 5 in Portland at all. But that's like a decent experience for him.
Well, and now if they want to go small, they can, which where they
100%,
really couldn't before.
100%. I like this trade a lot.
I think him at the 4 and Nurk at the 5.
Because Nurk can run the floor at least.
Someone's at my door. I'll be right back.
I mean, Portland's gonna be one of those teams probably around the bottom of the West, fighting, and
you think? I think the Portland could be like around a 3 or 4 seed. Honest to God, if they stay healthy.
That's the biggest thing I think.
Healthy.
That's
What
I
they're
thought.
healthy. Yeah.
Coming into last year, I had them finishing 4th.
I don't know, man. I think are we forgetting that Golden State is healthy next year?
That's true.
That'll be a factor.
But remember
talking about that
last year.
Phoenix.
Remember what the Mavs finished the 7th seed, but they were like 1 game out of the 4th seed.
Right.
Yeah.
It's super close.
That's how the West always is.
And if you're a team like Portland and you know, God forbid Dame goes down or CJ goes down or Nurk goes down again, I mean,
it's a wrap.
You're right there fighting at the bottom again.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
They were just very unlucky with injuries, though.
I mean, Mavs too. I mean, KP's not even gonna be ready to start the year. They're saying now. I mean, it scares the shit out of me. Scares the shit out of me.
KP scares me.
Yep.
Spooky.
All right, last trade we have here. The Bucks again go and get Bogdan Bogdanovic. Bogdan.
Bogdan.
I think it's Bogdan.
They say Bogdan?
I think it's Bogdan.
I would say Bogdan. I know some Serbians out there.
All right, Bogdan Bogdanovic. That sounds better, but whenever I was looking at it on Basketball Reference, the pronunciation thing had it Bogdan.
Really?
Bogdan.
Maybe it is. I don't know.
Maybe with the right
Bogey,
accent,
we'll do that.
it sounds.
Yeah. Not whatever I have going on. But anyways, side and trade. The Bucks also get Justin James. I honestly don't know who that is. The Kings get DiVincenzo, which is, I mean, a pretty nice piece.
Oh, DiVincenzo went to the Kings?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
And they also get Ersan Ilyasova and DJ Wilson.
He's been on every team in the league.
Ersan's been on every team in the league for like half a season, but he's been on the Bucks for like 13 years.
Feels like it, right? I know.
Dude, Ersan's like 32 years old.
Mm-hmm.
Is he? I thought he was 45.
I thought that he was like 50, bro. That guy's been in the league my whole life, it feels like.
I didn't know. Okay, I didn't know that DiVincenzo was part of this trade because I was thinking that like you know, I mean, they're going to lose some depth with George Hill being gone too. So but at least DiVincenzo, I think he's going to take a step up next year and be able to play a good backup point guard role. So that hurts, bro. That hurts.
I think the Kings are an interesting team to watch going forward too, because they're in a lot of talks of players moving around as well. They're talking about trading Buddy Hield possibly. I mean, what if the Kings want to do a full rebuild and get some picks? They might trade De'Aaron Fox. I mean, what if you removed DiVincenzo? I mean, that could be a guy
that's
that could
possible.
be headed somewhere else. I mean, I don't know what the Kings really have that say, okay, this is what we're gonna go moving forward. This is our core.
They'd be nuts to trade Fox.
I mean, but you just got Fox and a bunch of guys. You're not gonna win.
I feel like since they traded Bogdanovic, that means they're gonna keep Hield. That's how I feel at least about it.
That's how I
feel. But Hield wants out.
I think because he wasn't starting and stuff, and then now with Bogdan gone, then he's definitely going to be starting.
Those two are redundant with each other.
But it also seems like a horrible franchise to be a part of. At the end of the day.
Yeah, that's a sad
that seemed great. Yeah, we can go on a 45-minute rant.
I want to be out of this team. I just want to out
maybe,
of it regardless.
Maybe he just wants to leave anyways.
I'd rather be on a bench on a good team.
I still like Bagley, De'Aaron, and Buddy as a little.
I don't like Bagley, man.
I'm not really big on Bagley anymore. No.
Bro, he gives me this is like peak Bagley. Like if he lives up to everything.
I liked him coming out of the draft. I just haven't seen enough. I don't think.
If he lived up to like everything that I would hope for him to be, he's like left-handed Kevin Garnett. That's how I feel about him.
That's a wild thing to say.
Yeah,
it went real quiet. Come on, guys. Chill.
He has none of the intangibles KG had.
Okay, yeah, he doesn't have that. Yeah, he doesn't have that. Nutso. He doesn't have that Nutso. I think just how smooth he is and how
KG is like an all-time leader. Like.
I know. Just like how smooth they are and how long they can kind of
he can't shoot like KG either. KG had a crazy mid-range.
Bagley has a nice mid-range, bro. He has smooth jumper.
Like
smooth jumper. No, look at the tape. He got a smooth, bro. He got a smooth jumper. Chill.
This is
I don't know. Obviously, this is peak Bagley talk right here. I don't think he's gonna get to that.
I'm out.
This is
I'm
Apex.
out on Bagley.
Apex Bagley.
I'm out on the Kings franchise. They probably just need to sell the team and move on. To be honest.
Relocate.
Yeah, change to the Sacramento basketball team or something.
Get to Seattle.
Dude, but they just have that. They built that massive.
I'd be embarrassed to have Kings in my name.
Arena.
The Sacramento Peasants.
I like those three guys still, man. I don't know. I'm still holding out hope for them for some reason, but yeah, I don't know. I like Bogdanovic the most out of him and Hield. I think Hield's like 3-point shooting is probably worth more than anything that Bogdanovic
Hield
has.
has a higher ceiling in my opinion.
I just really like Bogdanovic's game.
Really, I think it's the opposite. I think Hield has a higher
Bogdanovic
floor.
has a higher floor just because he can shoot the ball so well.
Yeah.
Like at the least he can do that. Yeah, and I think that's just such a commodity now that I don't know. I mean, he's probably gonna be worth a little bit more, but I don't know. Getting rid of Bogdanovic was, and I mean, I guess we already talked a little bit about the Milwaukee side of this too. But I mean, yeah, Sacramento. Like, what is the plan moving forward? I don't know. I don't even know if they honestly.
They probably don't.
It's a wash. We're done with this trade.
Yeah, I don't know. I saw Kings fans upset, but it's like in a sign and trade. It's not like you're gonna get a lot.
Yeah.
But I don't know.
So then they re-signed him. I think he was restricted. Was he restricted free agent?
He was restricted, yeah.
So they could have just matched it. But yeah, so I don't know. I mean, I think it's just more interesting to see what Bogdanovic is going to do in Milwaukee. So
I saw some Bucks fans thinking he could come off the bench.
Like, who are they going to start?
Lead the bench unit.
Well, now that DiVincenzo's gone, I don't know. Like, who is there going to be their backup guard? Like, I don't know who their backup. And that's why I was relying everything on, honestly.
Because West is a free agent too, and people think he's leaving.
Oh.
Right? I could be wrong. I saw a lot of Lakers fans on the timeline who are like convinced West is going to the Lakers.
Yeah, I saw that too.
For real, they were. I don't know.
That'd be a nice little depth, especially with Danny Green gone.
Yeah. I guess you're right. 3. Yeah.
I feel like he could fit there, low-key.
I'm just not a huge Wesley Matthews guy.
No one is.
Oh, we liked him in Dallas. His contract was bad, but we liked him.
We liked him for 1 year in Dallas.
We didn't like his contract, but we liked West.
You were the biggest West hater.
I was the biggest West contract hater. Had no issue with the guy.
Dude, he was throwing threes off the backboard by the time that he's ending in Dallas.
When he tore his Achilles, I feel like ever since then, like his feet have been nailed to the floor.
100%.
Like I just feel like he can't move.
Yeah.
Like when I was watching him in Portland, I felt like he was like 6'5", 6'6", 6'7" out there or something. And now he's plays, dude. I feel like he's like 5'10", and he just like he's just struggling to get a shot up over a defender.
100%.
He gets like no elevation on his jump shot. I mean, seeing the torn Achilles, I mean, that's just
it's tough.
Yeah.
For him to be able to
I don't want to destroy the guy, but
right. For him to be able to do what he's doing now and still be sought after, I mean, mad respect.
Good for him. Yeah.
It's just it's tough, man.
I mean, was he that big of a factor for Milwaukee when they needed him? Like, not really.
No, right.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
the Blazers really lost all their good defenders. Like, I'm just thinking of all the defenders
Matthews that they had, because felt like you had to put those defender guys around Dame and CJ, who are not really necessarily lockdown guys by any stretch.
That was their issue last year. They're literally having to score 160 points to win.
Well, that's kind of how they built their team. Was just like, we're just gonna outscore you, outshoot you.
Yeah, true.
Yeah,
that's not sustainable, but it's fun to watch. All right, next up, we're gonna go over some of these guys who we think are gonna get traded, and we're going to discuss where we think they're gonna go. Starting with, oh my God, I can't. If Jrue Holiday's getting a half a decade worth of picks, I cannot imagine what James Harden is going to get.
Dude, I don't know. What was Paul George? Paul George was like 5 first-round picks.
Paul George a lot too.
Because this would be the best player to be traded.
That's a good question. When is it like who's Davis? I guess, but even Harden is probably better than Davis, just player for player.
Yeah, and it's a different situation too because AD was about to be a free agent.
Free agent, anyways, right?
I think. Are we on Harden? Is that what we're talking about?
Yeah.
I think the place that makes the most sense is something with Philly, and I don't think it would be until after the season started. I don't see how a trade with the Nets makes sense. I don't see how it happens.
Well, then if you believe the reports that Kyrie does not want him, and then KD does want him.
Well, why would
there's reports about that?
I don't know if I believe it because the only people who had said it are Chris Broussard and fucking Colin Cowherd.
Mm-hmm. Okay, yeah.
And it's it's so easy to shit on Kyrie on like TV as a joke.
But to me, it just doesn't. It doesn't make a basketball fit. I mean,
to me, it does. That's an absurd trio offensively, but it's like that offense. I can't imagine how that offense would look.
You're gonna have to give away every single role player you have. You're not gonna have Jared Allen. You're not gonna have Dinwiddie. You're not gonna have LeVert. You're not gonna have any of these guys.
Who reported on the Kyrie thing?
Oh, I saw Chris Broussard reported it, and I heard Colin Cowherd talking about it.
No sources, nothing.
Well, Chris Broussard said sources, but that means nothing, dude. We can come on here and say we have sources.
Dude, that's what aren't you journalism? You're a journalism guy, bro.
Yeah.
What is the number one rule about your sources?
Well, you have to always have good sources, but you can never name your sources.
No, you can't have unnamed sources, bro. That's not credible. You can't have an unnamed source. That's so whack. NBA is all about that now.
Everything is all anonymous.
Maybe in 1800.
That's so whack.
Anonymous GM says that he'd take this person over this person.
That is, I know that's whack. I mean, okay.
What did you go to? You never give up your sources.
No, bro, no, you're not credible if you don't have a name.
Okay, maybe if it's like investigative journalism. This is my issue, and why I got out of journalism was I thought sports journalists took themselves so seriously that it was embarrassing. And I was like, dude, you guys aren't in Iraq giving frontline war reporting. Like,
dude, no, bro, I can't, dude, I just can't. I can't. I don't. NBA news and talk now is all about that kind of stuff.
Okay, but what do you want him to do though? Do you want him to say, "Oh, I just got word from Mark Cuban that he thinks that James Harden is a little crybaby bitch and that he wants to be traded because he's scared of the Mavs"?
Okay. So, like, when Brett was saying, when you have, like, GM surveys and stuff like that, that's fine. Like, it's X amount of GMs say this, that, and whatever.
But it'll be like an anonymous quote comes out.
And sometimes they're spicy.
It happens all the time now.
It does.
I know. It does. I don't know.
But
it's good for the content.
In Clippers locker room reports drama.
Yeah. It's good for our content. No, good for the content.
This is the fucking dumbest shit I've ever heard.
But it does lead to people just saying, yo, I got a source that told me that
right. And dude, how much credibility does that have now?
It goes back to I was talking about this in a group text. That Barry McCockner Twitter account he made his Twitter Avi like Woj, and he made his name like Adrian Wojnarowski, and he tweeted that Chris Paul and James Harden got in a fist fight when they're on the Rockets, and Chris Paul was making fun of James Harden's man boobs. Yeah, and that's why James Harden wanted Chris Paul out, and like. Obviously, it was a fake tweet, but Skip Bayless was talking about it on Undisputed the next day.
Bro,
that happened.
That hurts.
Yeah,
I mean,
he brought it up recently too. It was fun.
Take journalism more seriously, man. That's why.
Wait, Skip was bringing it up like it was real, or that he got duped.
No, recently he brought it up again. He was like, yeah, and Chris Paul and Harden, remember, had that man boobs problem, and Harden.
No, he did not.
He was like Harden's super.
He doubled down.
He was like Harden's super sensitive and shit.
That is so funny that he doubled down.
Doubled down on the fake news.
No,
bro.
because he was making the case that all these superstars are super sensitive and shit. It's just gonna be a bunch of sensitive ass people in the same team.
Dude, doubling down on the man boob thing is so funny.
That's tough, man. That's tough.
Hey, he's got sources. He's got sources.
Oh my god.
I don't want to hear it, bro. If we can talk about real stuff, we can.
Okay,
we can talk. We can talk about.
Where do you think Harden should go, or where do you think he will go?
I was messing with a trade machine. the other night.
Which doesn't incorporate picks, by the way. So that's kind of.
I know, but that's just. It's fine. It doesn't have to.
I don't like
it's about the money. And
I don't like your trade at all.
Listen, dude. I like him going to Philly. You don't
like what I said.
And maybe in the middle of the year too.
You said you didn't like what I said.
No. Herm sent this trade from the trade finder, Joel and Josh Richardson, and I'm assuming picks probably.
Right.
Probably, yes. There's definitely gonna be picks on that.
For James Harden.
This is just a money matching up.
If I'm
There's
the
gonna
Sixers,
have to.
it's Ben Simmons. I want to keep Joel, and I want to run a pick and roll with Joel and James Harden. That is a nightmare.
I don't. You could do this. You could do a swap for the same thing.
But you could also do a pick and roll with Ben Simmons.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. Bro. I'm like,
dude.
I'm keeping.
That's what I'm saying.
I think I've stated that.
I think Ben Simmons as a 4, as a power forward, and him playing that Draymond role. I think I've said it a lot here on this podcast.
I think I just like his character more too. He just seems like a way more serious guy, and Joel's always bullshitting eating McDonald's or something.
Philadelphia will be. I think they'd be really upset if Embiid got traded though. But it could be one of these guys. But it's gonna be harder for the money to match up with Simmons if they put Simmons in the trade.
But also, if I'm the Rockets, I want Ben Simmons. I think that's also
yes. I probably do too. Yeah, you're right. You're right there. I would rather have Ben Simmons than Joel Embiid.
Yeah, but if I'm Philly, I'd rather have Ben Simmons.
I know. So maybe Houston just says no to Philadelphia then.
Well, they could say no to everybody, including Harden.
But there's some big time conspiracy theories that the Rockets owner refuses to trade with
Fertitta?
Yeah, he refuses to trade with Philly because Morey went there, obviously. And there are people who think that that Morey was sort of sowing this distrust with Harden. And
but they were saying the report was that his only 2 teams that he wanted to get traded to was Philly or Nets.
I know, but I'm saying
and he's one of his best friends, by the way, Meek Mill, wants him to come to Philly, and Meek Mill's got a huge influence on that team, and just everything going on in Philly.
Right,
and they're best friends.
Well, that's not what I'm saying. I think that James Harden. Let me flesh out this theory because I saw this and it made a lot of sense. Okay, so Morey went to Philly. I'm sorry, yeah, Morey went to Philly, right? But Fertitta, I always fuck up pronouncing his name. But anyways, he's like one of the most petty owners in the NBA. He always has been. He's always short sells his players. He's honestly a piece of shit guy. And I mean, I'm pretty radical. I don't think there's any nice billionaires. This guy's especially a piece of shit. But anyway, I saw that Harden knows that Harden wants to go to Philadelphia. This was somebody's theory, and it makes a lot of sense. Harden wants to go to Philly. He doesn't want to go to Brooklyn. Mm-hmm. He wants to go to Philly. But he knows that if he can convince Fertitta, whatever you pronounce his name, that he wants to go to Brooklyn instead, that Fertitta will spite him and send him to Philadelphia. So Harden's playing some 5D chess.
5 moves ahead, bro. My goodness.
And don't forget, is Harden and D'Antoni's relationship good? Because guess where D'Antoni is?
I think it is good.
Yeah,
is it good?
Why wouldn't it be? D'Antoni let Harden do whatever he wanted. D'Antoni's system is perfect for James Harden.
Especially lose. He let him lose a lot too.
Okay, but here's the thing, dude. I have always respected the Rockets for one reason, and that's when every other team was conceding to the Warriors, the Rockets year in and year out were building teams specifically to beat them, and they should have. They were at Game 7 and they missed 27 threes.
Yep.
27 straight threes. And they were close, dude. It wasn't like those Rocket teams were they were pretty disappointing from time to time, but they were close.
Yeah, I mean,
they were.
The Chris Paul injury.
Yeah. And they still almost won that game.
Yep.
Yeah, for James Harden, I mean, first off, that is some deep level thinking right there for him to say, well, you know what I'm saying, if he thinks I don't want to go there, I'm just going to tell him.
Harden's one of those guys. I could see that.
Bro, you have to be I mean,
think
you have to be pretty
I
cynical.
mean, bro,
looking
he
at
just
that.
turned down $50 million for 2 years. So he would be the only
Yeah,
player ever in the NBA to have a $50 million contract. So obviously
Right.
he's up to something.
Harden wants out. For
Yeah,
sure.
him
He's
wanting
up
to leave.
something.
Yeah, we know he wants to leave, but I
Yeah.
guess thinking the chess moves of like, well, I'm gonna say I want to go here, so he sends me there, and I really want to go. Like
Yeah, I
that's
mean,
just insane.
players do that all the time.
But yeah, I don't know. Like for the D'Antoni thing, yeah, he's gonna be going. I mean, if he wants to go to Brooklyn, then D'Antoni's gonna be there too. I don't know how much of that.
Agents, that's their job is to like build
Right.
leverage.
And like, but like
on other
for
teams.
Harden, I've heard in the past too. I think he was at an All-Star game 2 years ago or something like that. That he was speaking with I think Steph Curry actually, and was talking about like he wanted to play like beautiful basketball, like not like this just one-on-one. He's at the top of the key.
You can't tell by the way they play.
I know, that's what I'm saying. Like,
I mean, that might be D'Antoni's fault at the end of the
yeah,
day.
and it could be a little bit of that too. But like,
And going to get Russell Westbrook instead of a different kind of player.
right.
Yeah,
I try to do Harden to Brooklyn. Obviously, I don't know as much as there's someone much more well versed in the CBA and stuff.
I just don't.
I could not figure it out in the trade machine, bro. I could not do it to Brooklyn.
Regardless of trade machine, I just don't see it.
they'd have to trade their whole team.
Dude,
But
the
then-
entire.
But then I saw some people think if you're the Brooklyn Nets front office, you're taking Harden over Kyrie 10 times out of 10.
Yes.
Yeah, there's just no way they do that, right?
There's
Who?
no shot,
There's
dude.
just no way
Kyrie and Kevin Durant.
They're gonna pair these two together and then just break it up like that.
If
Before
KD,
they
if
play a
KD
game.
if KD wouldn't mind, I would do it. Who gives a fuck? You have no tie to Kyrie. He's played what 10 games on your team.
And yeah, I feel you, but it just seems.
It would be
kinda
weird for sure, and kind of shitty to do. But
Yeah.
Think about how this conversation starts, though, bro. Like, imagine like you're the GM for Brooklyn, and you go up to KD and like, hey, man, between me and you, like, if
And
we
then
had to do this,
Kyrie-
that, yeah, and then
Kyrie's
KD would
right
probably like KD could very easily be like, bro, you're twisted. Hey, man, we're all out of here, bro. Nah,
no.
Like,
You couldn't come that direct. You'd have to have weeks and weeks of conversation
how do
where you're like,
you just
man,
gotta drop.
I just
the
got
nuggets,
I just
bro.
got the phone with Kyrie, and he's on some bullshit. Isn't Kyrie on some bullshit? And just see what Kevin Durant's saying.
Yeah, I don't
Bro,
know.
Kevin Durant's like, yeah, he kind of is.
So, because I also saw some Boston stuff where they're trying to maybe open up some cap room to maybe make a Harden play. What do you, Colin? What do you think? Where's Harden going?
I saw a tweet earlier that Boston's not happening. I
don't know
think
how
that
that works
I think
out
that
either.
James Harden probably might even start the season on the Rockets. If I had to guess right now,
That's what I said.
Yeah, he could very possibly do that too, just like Brett said. Yeah, and I think like a mid-season trade to Philadelphia, I think is probably going to be
or maybe
now
you
whether
just,
it's for Simmons or Embiid, I don't know.
or maybe you just say, I mean, when was the last time a gigantic trade like that happened mid-season though?
Yeah, mid-season's tough. I don't think it would be mid. I think it would be
End of
kind of right around. No, I think it'd be closer to the beginning, like maybe
Before they play a game?
I think if Harden's on the Rockets game 1 of the season, he's on the Rockets all year.
Okay.
Because he doesn't have any leverage. Like honestly,
Not much, yeah.
I
Yeah,
agree
still
with
signing the
player
contract.
empowerment and all that, but at a certain point, if you're the GM
You signed a contract.
and you have James Harden, this isn't Robert Covington who's like, all right, we'll trade you for a first or somebody. Like you're a top 3, top 5 player in the NBA. If we don't get what we want out of you, we're keeping you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
100%.
Like we're not settling on some bullshit trade. If Jrue Holiday's getting half a decade worth of picks,
100%.
I think, but if they're already moving off of Robert Covington, and I think they might try to move off of PJ Tucker too.
That's
Like it's just heading in that
and
direction.
Russell.
I feel like.
But
mean, obviously, yeah.
But you could just say, okay, the pieces that we had didn't work,
Mhm.
right? So let's trade everyone else but Harden and try it again.
yeah, but you've done that 4 times now.
I know.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's going to be so difficult to get, like you were saying, to get back the value for James Harden.
Because
Yeah,
I mean,
I mean, you really never will.
And that's why
Never
I
will.
think Philly makes the most sense.
right. That is true. Because who is the young player you're going to get from the Nets? Karis LeVert. I mean, I like Karis LeVert, but
Not worth
No,
it.
you'd get all their young players.
I know, but like Karis
Yeah,
LeVert's the
that's
best
not
out
worth
of
it.
him.
Yeah.
Well, I think Dinwiddie's a starting caliber player, but
But that's not like a blue chip
but it would
young
be
talent.
but it would be and first round picks.
Oh, it'd be your whole decade. If I'm the GM of the Nets or the Sixers, I look at that Jrue trade and I think, oh, that just fucked any Harden trade. Because now, if I'm the Rockets, I'm saying, oh, I'm getting a whole
I
decade.
need 10
worth of
first
picks.
round picks.
Yeah.
I need 10 first round picks.
Drew gets a half decade. James Harden is giving me an entire decade worth of picks.
Yeah, it's wild. It's wild.
Yeah. I don't
It's
know.
just
We're gonna have
hard
to see
to
what happens.
imagine
It's
a
really
team-
interested to see.
I would love to be like a fly on the wall in one of these GM's rooms, like in the Houston GM room, and just see what they're
In
saying.
any of these rooms, right?
Yeah.
I know. I wonder what
mean,
Brooklyn's
it
thinking
must
right
be
now
just
too.
they probably are not sleeping for the next 3-4 weeks.
I would say
You know
like,
that SpongeBob? Or they're running around in his brain, all the little
Yeah,
SpongeBob's running
yeah.
around with the papers.
It's on fire and shit. Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah.
That needs to be a slightly biased tweet right now.
Yeah, facts,
For
bro.
the next week.
I think that
Bro.
if you were to get traded, Boston and Philadelphia make the most sense. Because you can
Yep.
immediately get good young players, like a Jaylen Brown, who's obviously not.
Okay, yeah, but is Jaylen Brown? If you're Houston, do you say yes to Jaylen Brown? Like he's the young
It's
guy
gonna
that
be
you're
a
getting.
bunch of picks.
A bunch
too.
of picks.
I know, but like
You
I
have to
don't
throw
know,
me
bro.
Time Lord. You're gonna have to throw me
Wanamaker dog.
You're gonna
what?
throw me your whole team essentially.
Some
Romeo
Cavs,
Langford.
I'm probably maybe even asking for Kimba or something.
Maybe like a steak dinner too.
Yeah,
like
yeah.
Steak dinner.
I need
I
one.
don't know,
I
man.
need one of the Celtics championship banners.
something for Christmas.
Yeah.
Like some little something in the Christmas card.
It's just hard to imagine like this
I
this
don't
trade
know.
happening.
I mean,
Yeah, I don't know how it does
think
either.
about it. We weren't thinking about Harden going anywhere, and a few days ago, Harden wants out. I was like, word?
Well, there's always
Right.
been some talk like, oh, if
Rockets are
Harden,
rebuilding? Like, what?
if Harden demands a trade, but it's like, I don't know, dude.
But, see, we're not even talking about the whole Russell Westbrook factor. What are they going to get for Russ?
And
That
let's-
contract is crazy. He's going to
let's-
go to some shit team.
Let's get into that. I don't think Russ is leaving either.
I mean, they're talking about the Hornets are going to get him. Or,
See, but that makes sense to me. I saw a tweet before the offseason even started that the Hornets are going to try to get shit contracts for picks. Which, if you're a rebuilding team, that makes so much sense to me. If you know you're not going to win, I'll take your terrible fucking contracts for a first round pick. Like think about the
So
Grizzlies.
Houston.
Wait,
So
no,
Houston's
but
gonna attach picks.
Charlotte would be taking Russell Westbrook.
No, Charlotte will take
And
Russell
you're saying-
Westbrook and picks.
And from Houston is attaching picks so they can get
Yeah.
off of
And-
Westbrook.
And if I'm Washington, I'm not giving you. If I'm Charlotte, I'm not giving you anything because I don't want Russ. If I'm Charlotte, what does Russ do to me besides give me a
Nah, I
$50
don't
million
think that-
contract?
Just a little entertainment.
Yeah, I mean that's
Yeah, I
true.
don't think that happens.
Just
Nah,
for a
I
bad
wouldn't want to
team.
do that either.
There's-
I mean, he's a
there's no-
Jordan guy too.
But that's
Yeah,
the only thing that like realistically for Russ, what are you gonna get? Like CP3, remember CP3 was an unmovable contract as people thought, but then CP3 balled out of his mind. Russ is even
Played
worse
well.
contract at this stage at least.
Yeah, no, it is. Yeah, it's bad.
Well, his
It's bad, yeah.
that's what's crazy about the Chris Paul thing was that Westbrook's value went down and Chris Paul's went way up because
I
of
know.
what he did with OKC.
Well, he
right?
played well. Right,
Yeah.
he played well.
and
I mean-
Russell didn't.
Is there stock to the James Harden thing? Like
Maybe
we've
it's
had three
James
different
Harden.
superstars come in. Dwight
Well,
Howard.
and D'Antoni's shit ass system that everybody seems to love for no reason.
I love D'Antoni's system. I just don't know
I
if it can
don't.
work. I don't know if it can win.
We've seen it for 2 decades.
Yeah,
How do
but-
we not know if it works or not?
But
Let me tell you, it doesn't work.
the Rockets, everybody thought the Rockets were an amazing three-point shooting team. All they did was shoot a
How come they
lot.
went 24%.
Yeah, all they did was shoot a lot. They weren't efficient shooters
Exactly.
at all.
So how do you love this system? The system's terrible.
Well, it's
They
just
almost
fun to
beat
watch.
one of the greatest teams of all time.
It's-
They are
it's
pretty
just-
fun to watch. It's not my favorite
Harden dribbling
system.
at top of the key for 23 seconds.
It
every
was more
time?
fun. It was more fun with Chris Paul.
Yeah,
When
yeah.
and like
it was
in those
added
six,
a little bit more variance.
in those
I mean,
Sun
the-
schemes.
I used to be a huge Russell Westbrook fan. The Russell Westbrook dream is completely dead.
He was good, but
Well-
it's like
I think it makes sense for Russell to be on a bad team. I think he should go to New York. That'd be awesome for the Knicks.
To the Knickerbockers.
that's-
Let's
I mean,
go.
we're talking about a Russell Westbrook Knicks jersey. That'd be lit.
wait, let me
That would
see.
be hard.
At least Russell just be entertaining for somebody.
So
Yes.
Herm has these trades are all Herm's trades, by the way. Herm has the Knicks
Yeah,
trading their whole
playing
roster.
yeah.
Julius Randle, Alfred Payton, Frank Ntilikina, and Dennis Smith.
Yeah.
None of those. I mean, Frank's. I do like Frank. I think Frank could end up being like a solid player on a good team. I don't think any of those other guys will be, ever.
I think the biggest part of it is just those guys are going to be expiring contracts in a
Yeah.
year, and you're able to get off of Russell Westbrook, and then you can possibly same thing for the Danny Green thing, like Julius Randle, maybe some team like if Denver somehow loses out on Jerami Grant, and then maybe Denver wants another forward,
No.
and then they get I don't know. I'm just thinking some team could overpay or could pay a first round pick or maybe a second round pick for Julius Randle to think that he might put them over the hump.
I think, like Conley said, it wouldn't surprise me if neither of these guys got traded because it's going to be
they just stayed for the year.
It's going to be super, super difficult.
Yeah, for Russ,
Yeah.
you are going to have to give up picks more than likely, or you're going to get nothing. Like you're not going to get anything for Russ.
Whew, man, I don't know. I think he still has some sort of value.
The
I
only
think Westbrook-
chance is if like you said,
We're putting zero. We're putting zero value. We're putting zero value on him.
He has entertainment value for a bad team.
100% that.
I don't think he has value for a good team.
No major contender. No major contenders making a play on us.
I think the dream is dead for Russell winning a championship.
And then, like you, if the Knicks are really, really desperate, and honestly, it sounds like they're not by some of these tweets.
I used to die on the Westbrook hill. Believe me.
Yeah, I know.
I used to die on that hill.
I mean, whenever you rely on your athleticism when you're 31 years old, like
it's hard to you have to.
And you're on the worst contract in the NBA.
That old man game.
Oh, well, we need to talk about that. Yeah.
The
John Wall, Russell Westbrook.
That's disgusting, dude. Like.
Oh, wait, what?
Yes,
Where? No.
Before we started, I saw a tweet that was like, "There's some talks that maybe there's a John Wall, Russell Westbrook swap, and I think it was the Rockets get some more too, or the Wizards get some more."
I am gonna say though, and this is gonna be kind of weird after I just said that Russell Westbrook's not gonna win a championship, that I am kind of excited for John Wall's comeback.
Oh yeah.
No, I am too.
I'm pretty excited for John Wall's
I'm excited for John Wall's comeback as well.
Mm-hmm.
Shout out John Wall's high school mixtape, man. That's like the legendary high school tape, man.
That's kind of interesting too, because Washington's got Beal as well. Is he gonna be a factor anywhere?
I don't know. I mean, people still want to think about moving him. I've even heard some people say, like, why would you want to trade?
He's been like the talk of the trade town for like, what, 2 years now?
Yeah, seriously.
Yeah. I mean, some people say, like, you can get – I mean, Harden's going to be for – I mean, it's an ungodly amount of assets. Like, why not get a person like Beal that can be for less assets, younger? Not to say that Beal is –
Or both of them, maybe.
Someone can trade for the both of them? I don't know.
Harden for both of them?
Harden for Beal
Harden straight
up
up for Beal and
yeah.
Oh no shot! I don't even know who helps. That doesn't help anyone. I feel like.
That's a weird trade.
Dude, but all this is crazy, man. Just NBA offseasons are crazy.
I'm ready for some like team nobody's expecting to come in with this Godfather Harden deal.
Yeah, like Orlando or something. I don't know.
That's what kind of seems low key about Boston, right? Because they're saying they're gonna try to dump Hayward and Kimba for a bunch of picks, and trade all those assets that they get from those two players for Harden.
They're not getting picks. I don't think they're.
Hey, let me tell you something. Danny Ainge is overrated as fuck. He made one big trade, and he just sits on his ass.
I mean, they built a good team there, I think.
Just Kemba, they have.
If Kemba was better, they probably win the East.
Dude, that team could have put their foot on everyone's necks if Danny Ainge just made some. If Danny Ainge was willing to trade all of the assets he compiled.
Like maybe got Capella instead of Cantor.
Not even that. They could have gotten
Davis?
Superstars. Yes, they could have put together. They could have put together
a
much better offer for Davis than the Lakers did.
Yeah, but they didn't want to get rid of their, Tatum or.
But AD also wanted to go to LA and not Boston. Like he said.
Yeah, that's a part of it too.
I mean, yeah, that is true. That's true.
Yeah, but no, but Ainge, he got all those picks from letting go of those old guys to Brooklyn, and then it came into fruition with Tatum.
I mean, yes.
With Tatum. But they were sitting on just pick after pick after pick, and some of them didn't turn out as much.
Everyone was waiting for the big trade.
Kyrie move was terrible, and the Gordon Hayward contract ended up being terrible,
which is unfortunate.
They went for it, and I mean, for the young guys, definitely panned out. I mean, Tatum's a bona fide star. Not a superstar yet, but definitely a star.
He can get there. This year, probably.
And a lot of people love Jalen Brown. I liked him a lot more after the bubble. I wasn't a fan of the contract at the beginning, but he played really well this year. Kemba needs to be better. If they end up still having him, he's got to play better. Yeah. There's no doubt about that. But they were missing a big man. I mean, when you're going up against Bam Adebayo and you got Daniel Tice, you're going to get cooked.
Yeah, they definitely were.
And that's why I thought about the Rockets. I mean, a lot of people loved the Capella trade. I thought it was a terrible trade.
When he went to Atlanta?
I think you need some kind of presence, whether you're playing Warrior small ball or not.
What did the Rockets get for that?
Was it Covington?
No. It was like nothing. I don't remember what it was. But let me tell you this about the Rockets. So I think Harden and Russ are starting the season on the Rockets. As lame as that,
it's going to be hard to move them. It's going to.
As lame as that is.
I will say either they both will start the season on the Rockets, or they're both going to be gone by the beginning of the year. So, but I guess I got to choose one. I got to choose one, right? I think they're both gone by. I think they both get traded by.
It's just hard imagining Harden getting. Like if I'm the Rockets, I would just take my chances, and if Harden comes and pouts every night and goes out and scores 40 while pouting and complaining, so be it.
Yeah, and I'm one of those guys too. I agree with you. I would just I'd trot him out there for as long as I can before I had to make a move. And Harden's one of those guys he's not the type of guy that's gonna sit. He's gonna play.
No.
He's not gonna just be
that
like.
Will never happen. People who
mope.
always say that's never gonna happen. A player just sitting for 2 whole seasons.
The Kawhi, not the 2 whole seasons, but the Kawhi thing. I mean, we still don't know everything about what happened there.
Yeah, but they were
AD
hurt. They were hurt. AD
was hurt in a little bit kind of thing, but I don't know.
All right, let's move on. We talked about the Rockets for like 30 minutes. Oh, let me say this about the Rockets. I think PJ Tucker to the Mavs makes a lot of sense.
Ooh.
I agree.
Like an absurd amount of sense.
Yep.
Like I saw that the Rockets want an early second-round pick. Mavs have 31.
I would 100% do that.
I would 100% do that too. That makes so
I
much
want
sense.
I want a
Mavs.
big man, like a hard screen and rolling big man for the
Bro,
Mavs.
we got 2 of those. We got Powell.
Yeah,
and
Dwight Powell's
Cleveland.
coming back. That's literally all Dwight Powell does.
Yeah, better. I like better
That's
than
what I'm
those
saying.
guys, I guess. I don't know.
I mean, dude, Powell's solid, man. We were missing
Powell's
him.
fine.
Bro.
All right, speaking of the Mavs,
yeah.
Herm, DeMar Derozan, you think the Dallas Mavericks?
No, I don't think so.
Is
Is that what I put in there? What did I put?
You had
oh,
this,
yes,
you had
I
this
did.
trade Tim Hardaway Jr. and Dorian for DeMar Derozan.
For DeRozan. Yeah, dude. I don't know. I was just we were talking about DeRozan, like what he can do, where he can move or anything like that. I couldn't think of a lot of different places that would want him or that could kind of use his services. What can
I think
he
he's
offer?
kind of a hard guy to deal for right now.
Well, does the Lakers still work with after the Schroder trade? Could that even still happen?
So that's what I didn't even
That
hear about
makes
this
a lot
until
of
the other
sense
day
for
too. I mean, he's an LA guy, Compton, you know what I'm saying? But I think he went to Centennial High. But I don't know. I don't know what he would do for us. Like,
He'd
what
be
would he
the
do for
third
us?
option.
Well, what also do you have to give them?
I get, yeah, but who? Kuzma?
Antonio's like, yes.
Yeah,
Dude,
I don't think.
Dude, apparently Pop loves Kuzma. Like, that's an actual thing.
Really?
Pop really wanted them to
Okay.
draft Kuzma. He's always liked Kuzma.
It had to be like Kuzma and a first-round pick, right? Or maybe
Yeah.
even 2 first-round
It's
picks?
gonna
2
be
first-round
something.
picks?
It has to be some other stuff too, and you have to make the money match too, because that's not gonna match. It might be like Caruso possibly.
Because he opted
Shout
in
out
for
to
the
him,
20.
bro.
He's for the 27.
Yeah,
So I mean, that's a decent amount.
yeah, that's a good chunk.
Yeah.
So you'd have to give up something, maybe
What's
even
Schroeder
KCP.
making? Schroeder's making a decent amount too.
He's probably in the
think
teens,
he's-
right?
I think it's
17,
like
I
17.
think.
17 is what I was thinking too.
Yep.
So that's what I was saying. I didn't know if the Schroeder trade made this impossible.
I get DeRozan. I mean, I guess I'm thinking about him as, I mean, even possibly like a late game scorer, because he is an isolation bucket getter.
He
You can
is.
definitely do
I
that.
feel like
He's
San Antonio does
cold-blooded.
kind of have incentive to kind of trade these guys, though. I mean,
Oh yeah, San Antonio needs to blow it up.
DeRozan and LaMarcus just isn't
Yeah.
going to win you a ship. I mean, you're barely in the playoffs hunt. So I don't know. I really don't know, man. These GMs are doing some crazy stuff. It's hard to predict what all 10 first-round picks are going to be traded for who.
Yeah, I never felt like San Antonio would ever trade with the
I mean,
Lakers.
even if we were talking about Jrue Holiday trade,
That's
the
true,
way
too.
it went down, there's no way we could have predicted something like that. I mean, just
I don't- yeah.
5 first.
crazy.
Yeah, I don't think that. I think that Pop is I think he doesn't like the Lakers. I don't think that he would try. I don't think he traded Kawhi here to the Lakers for a reason. I don't know, but maybe he doesn't think that this would help us that much, because I kind of don't think that.
Didn't they trade Kawhi to Toronto out of spite originally?
Yeah, and they got nothing. Like, think about what the Bucks just got for Drew, for Kawhi Leonard. The Spurs got DeMar Derozan, Jakob Poeltl, and the 28th pick.
Mm-hmm.
That's kind of
Ugly.
wild. That's
Yeah,
kind of
just to see.
wild.
That's
I mean,
nuts.
if you're looking at all the picks going around now, that's pretty wild.
And that trade was about
Right.
2 years ago. It wasn't like that trade was like a decade ago.
Right.
Was it kind of the Paul George thing that's kind of kicking off all these picks like this?
That Paul George. I mean, I think it was 5 first-round picks,
That's
dude.
what
And
I'm
after
saying.
that, it's
Is
just
that,
been
is
a
that kind of
plethora.
like setting the market right now?
A little bit, yeah. And then to see what his. I mean, I think he still has
and then for him
value.
to just be trash. I mean, how is this still happening?
I also think
Yeah.
it's because the NBA is wide open right now.
Mm-hmm.
Is it?
I think so.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, if I'm not going into the year like, okay, I can beat AD and LeBron, then what are we doing?
Let's not pretend. I know the Lakers just won, but they're not like the Golden State Warriors. The Golden State Warriors were almost a guaranteed ship, barring injury.
Agreed. Yeah.
I mean, is there anything that tells you that LeBron's going to go into next year being trash?
No, but I'm saying the Lakers weren't some dominant steamrolling team, even though they did.
4-1, 4-1, 4-1, 4-2.
They
I mean, it
did.
was
They did
very
dominate,
dominant.
but
No, I agree with you, Colin.
You could
I
build
agree
a
with you.
team to beat
I don't
them.
think we're just we're not overwhelming favorites. no.
the Warriors, there was no point even trying. Unless you had LeBron
certain
James,
extent.
there was no point of even making an effort. Just tank.
Yeah.
But also, I'm wondering if GM's like, yo, there's no point of having like mid-teen draft picks. These dudes never fucking pan out, hardly ever.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
So
we might as well go get the
mortgage them anyways.
Yeah, let's go get the
See if
guy
we
we
can
know
get
is a
something.
star.
Right.
And just
So going back to the Mavs, I don't know about DeRozan. I don't think it probably makes sense. I think the best thing.
Yeah, just have fun.
I think the best thing for the Mavs is to just sit on what we have. I think Tim Hardaway opts in. I think you bring back Trey Burke, and I think you draft the 2 best players available at 18 and 31. And I think you
rock
see
like that.
I mean, the only thing that can really kill you is Porzingis like not being there, which is very, very possible. But like, I just think right now to like make a crazy move, unless it's Beal and it makes sense, then like I just don't know another player that I'm just like super excited to like trade a bunch of this and that for.
Mavs.
Well, that's the thing about and now it's coming back to me now why I did this. DeMar Derozan, like they will still be off his money will be off the books for when Giannis is a free agent. So it was something that could make them better in the meantime, but it's not going to cripple them to have no space for Giannis.
I'm kind of pessimistic on the whole Giannis to Dallas thing now.
No, Giannis is not. I don't think Giannis is leaving the Bucks.
Yeah, I just don't think it's happening.
Yeah,
man.
I mean after this trade,
if there's
you
some way
assume
we
that
could
they had a
finagle-
conversation.
Finagle Hardaway, like I am a big proponent. Everybody's talking about trading Finney Smith. After what I saw in the bubble, I do not want to trade Finney Smith.
I really don't
I
either.
like Finney too, bro. I like him too.
I like him too. I think he grew up a lot in the bubble. I think he showed me a lot.
Mm-hmm.
And I just don't want to like give that. That's not a guy you're gonna have to pay a lot of money when he's ready to get paid.
He's still on his rookie deal.
The Mavs have that team atmosphere, bro. Like unless it's like Beal is maybe one thing. Like if it worked, like Tim Hardaway, Dorian, and like our picks for Beal, maybe like I guess I could be okay with that.
I don't think Washington would say yes to that though.
Exactly. Like
the
I just
Mavs don't have the pieces for Beal.
I don't think we have enough to kind of like go get somebody, and I think we just chill. You know, make the right pieces. I'd even be cool with Willie Cauley-Stein be opting back in. I mean, I'm cool with that. And then we take the best players available at 18 and 31. There's some decent players kind of right there in the middle of the first round. I mean, a lot of people are talking about RJ Hampton. He's right there around that 17 area where the Mavs are. Mm-hmm. So I don't know, man. So I just think I think we're kind of chilling right now.
Teams are getting better though. That's what I'm kind of thinking about it. Like, teams are getting better around them.
Luka Doncic, bro. We don't care what y'all are doing, bro. We have the best player in the NBA, so I don't care what the other teams are doing.
Slightly biased.
Hey, what's up, bro? You know I got the Mavs blue on right now, bro. I'm repping my shit too, bro. We coming for y'all, bro. We're going to see a Luka LeBron matchup. If it's not this year, we're going to see that at some point.
Luka's the betting odds favorite for the MVP. Did you guys see that?
Is he?
Of course he is.
What is it? What is it? Do you know what the odds are?
It's like plus 400.
Probably like minus 1,500, bro. Like, come on.
All right, let's get into these free agency predictions because we haven't even gotten to those.
Oh man. Okay, hold up. Do we want to? I guess we can cut right. Do you want to make another video, or do we want to just do this? Keep rocking.
We're keeping it rolling.
Let's put it up.
Okay,
Anthony
my bad. I'm so
Davis.
sorry.
Let's just do this as a formality.
He ain't going nowhere.
No.
Yeah, I'm just disrespected by this. Yeah, go ahead.
But
continue.
let's play a fun hypothetical.
Shut up! Nah, bro, relax.
AD wins. Yeah.
What are you?
I was expecting to see that from you, Brett, in the doc. Like Lakers. ... Dallas makes a lot of sense though.
He fits.
He fits. That reminds me of the Klay Thompson shit. Klay Thompson's such a great dude. Klay Thompson's a fit on any team
everywhere, bro.
That's my point on a lot of these guys.
For the viewers, real quick, we made a Google Doc just for our free agency picks, and Brett has maps on every single.
Yeah, you guys will see.
Throwing it back to college, man, with the Google Docs.
But no, this hypothetical scenario, AD wins with the Lakers, and he's sitting there in the celebration. He's thinking, man, this is so great. Like, and he spent the whole season with LeBron. LeBron was telling him in 2016 when I won for Cleveland, my hometown, my home city. There was nothing like it. AD's experiencing the parade, but it doesn't hit him like he thought it would. So he says, I need to go to Chicago and bring my city its first championship since Michael Jordan. He goes to Chicago. James Harden says, AD in Chicago. The Rockets say, Wendell Carter, Zach LaVine, Colby White,
Chris Dunn.
Picks. What do they have? The 4th overall pick of the draft? Let me give him a call.
You have to put Markkanen in there too, right?
No, keep marketing. Harden goes.
They're not trading him for that. Yeah, dude, I don't want to hear this, bro. But
Anthony
I
Davis
actually like
and
this.
Harden and
This is
Chicago.
like-
That sounds pretty dope, honestly, bro.
D Rose comes back.
That actually sounds pretty cool, but,
No, but
nah,
he's
I
not
don't
going.
want it. I don't want it.
He's not going anywhere. AD's going to Lakers. Okay, next up, Fred VanVleet. One that I thought was for sure going elsewhere. I don't think he's going anywhere anymore.
Yeah, I think me and Herm have both said it makes sense for Toronto only to pay him a max deal.
Yeah, we all have Toronto.
Yeah. I think some other people were saying Detroit. Someone else said Miami. I think I read somewhere Miami.
I've
If
seen people
Goran
say
because
Miami.
Goran he's a free agent as well. So
Hey,
I think we'll get to him a little bit too.
Miami would be lit.
I've heard people say Mavs.
You for real? You trolling?
No. I've heard people say it.
I haven't
what?
seen it.
What? Like I don't know. That wouldn't waste money.
I wouldn't
yeah,
like
you
it.
have a point guard. You have an eternal point guard. Chill.
But I will say this is this is gonna be a
know.
weird offseason because if Giannis does end up signing a supermax before like free agency starts, which some people think is possible, that he'll sign one within the next week.
It's gonna be a domino effect for everybody else.
Yeah, all of a sudden, if you're the Raptors, if you're the Heat, if you're the Mavs, you've been gearing up for this Giannis run. Oh fuck it, we'll just spend money now. There's no point.
Yeah. I mean, and I think that opens the door for because the only reason why I don't think Miami would want to pay VanVleet is because, I mean, they're hoping for a Giannis as well. So I don't know. That's the only thing I was really leaning towards with VanVleet, other than Toronto, was him possibly going to Miami.
Damn, Colin, now you got me thinking, bro.
What, the AD stuff?
No, a little Fred in Dallas. I don't know.
I mean,
Money wise, it doesn't make sense.
It doesn't make and Rick Carlisle can make 2 point guards work. He likes
Yeah.
to do that. He likes to do a lot of guards anyways.
Well,
but
Fred
I
would
don't
be
think-
all off ball, bro, which would be.
But the thing is with me with guards is like Rick gets the most out of any guard who comes onto the team.
yeah,
like,
why pay someone
or
that
any
much?
player.
Look what he did to Trey Burke. Yeah, look
like-
what Trey Burke was.
Like any guard come in. Remember Yogi Ferrell? Yogi Ferrell was nuts like 2 years ago out of
Yeah.
nowhere.
Yeah.
Roddy Dubois?
Sacramento paid him.
Yeah.
Sacramento paid him.
Harrison Barnes. I mean, he got paid in Dallas, but
I'm thinking
actually,
like
yeah.
guards.
Guess who
Devin
paid
Harris,
Harrison?
Devin Harris,
Guess
I
who
JJ
know,
paid
Barea.
Sacramento.
Sacramento Peasants.
Did Devin Harris make an All-Star game for the Mavs, or was it with the Nets?
I think he did it with the Nets.
Okay, because I know he made one, but I don't remember who it was.
I think it was with the Nets.
All right, so we all think Freddie stays with Toronto. It does make the most sense.
Yep.
Yeah.
I thought like early on in the season that him going to the Knicks was like a foregone conclusion. But I think the Knicks are actually gonna be smart with their money this year. I do.
Unless they trade for Russell Westbrook.
That's a bold prediction.
Well, I
And
saw
that's
tweets.
a very Knicks move.
I saw
haven't heard
tweets.
it. I haven't heard
the
Knicks
Knicksy
and
move.
smart in the same sentence in 20 years.
I saw tweets today that the Knicks were like people in the Knicks organization were like adamant that they did not want Russ.
Okay, that's a start.
I mean, that could be a smokescreen or something, but I doubt it. Like,
Even though I think it'd be kind of cool, but okay.
Dude, what, bro? Like, I would never wear any other jersey other than the
I think
Lakers.
that'd be live.
but that's like what you said. That
Um,
would just be for entertainment purposes.
yeah, great.
Dude,
I think it
mean,
makes-
and that,
are
and
you
that
not
blue-
entertained?
that blue Knicks jersey with the
Oh man,
tough.
the Rockets are in a weird spot.
Mm-hmm.
All right, Gallinari. Here comes our first slightly biased. Both you guys have him going to the Mavs.
Really?
I have him going to the
Really?
Heat.
The Heat.
The Heat.
Okay.
That makes.
I
most
think
sense.
I think
Honestly,
Dallas.
I have no idea where these fools are going, so I'm just
What-
threw something out there.
No, I think Gallinari going to Dallas makes sense. I think he depends how much if he's looking for like longevity in his contract or if he's just looking for just like a 1 year, $20 million sort of dollar thing.
Yeah,
Um,
that's what I said. Like a 1 year deal
yeah.
makes sense. Maybe 2 with like a team option, but otherwise I'm
Yeah.
not about to give him like a 5 year deal.
Yeah.
I don't know what he's looking for, right? I don't know what he's looking for.
Gallinari's kind of those players too. It's like sometimes I like him, but most of the time I.
I actually like him a lot for the most part. I like I like his game. I like his offensive game. I mean, I think stretching the floor for Luka would be
He's
really
kinda
nice. Too.
inconsistent. Like, I don't know. Does he really do anything for you on defense? He can't move.
I wouldn't mind
Yeah,
having
defensively.
Gallinari, but like, it's not something that would make me super excited. Especially if
Yeah.
he was making a ton of money for like 3-4 years.
So you have him going to Miami.
I'm going to Miami. It makes a lot of sense. Miami has a lot of cap.
Yeah.
I feel like they can make this move
That's
easily.
I don't know though. He's
I
like a
think they're
small
still-
forward. Jimmy and him play like the same position.
No, he plays he plays four. He plays power forward for the most part.
He
now.
stretches the floor just like add another shooter to the Heat. They
Dude,
don't really need. They don't need defense.
Yeah,
I mean, it's always
I mean,
nice to have
Bam
more
is the
defense, but
anchor. No, Bam's their anchor. They'll be all right. I don't know. Gallinari is an interesting one though, because I feel like he can fit a lot of places and he can go a lot of places. So
yeah,
I'm excited to see where he chooses.
If some like bad team throws him a bag, does he go there or?
He might. Yeah, who knows? Like
Probably.
if he's looking for. Yeah, like I'm curious as to what he's looking for. Like
Or
if he
the
wants a longer
Celtics lose
contract.
Gordon Hayward.
I don't think they're losing him. I think they're trying to move him.
But it might be a
Like,
mutual thing.
definitely.
Oh yeah, mutual parting. Yeah, there might be too.
The Hawks are trying to get Hayward. Is what they're.
The Hawks are
saying.
apparently trying to do a lot.
Yeah,
I know. The Hawks
Yeah.
should be another interesting team to watch.
yeah. We'll get to the Hawks. I think they're gonna brick here in a little bit, but go ahead.
Here we have this next one. This is This is a wild card, I think. Christian Wood
Yeah, yeah.
came seemingly out of nowhere last year.
Yeah, I have no idea.
Both you guys have him on the Pistons. I have a caveat on mine. Pistons.
Whoa.
But if the Nuggets lose Jerami Grant, I think they can make a run for Christian Wood.
That'd be nice.
To replace.
Would they have enough money? I've been reading somewhere that like he could I don't know what the market is for him. Like it feels like it'd
probably be a decent deal.
That's the thing. No one knows. Like I've seen people think he's making $9 million. If that's the case, he could go anywhere.
Right.
Yeah, Boston is something that I was reading about not too long ago too, and I don't know what I feel like the stat like the nerd like NBA nerds like really like Christian Wood, so I don't really know what his market value Christian Wood is. I don't know what his market value is. If it's like a middle level exception type thing like $8 to $9 million, then I think the Celtics would. I think that if I were him, I'd go to the Celtics. But if not,
they're gonna have to get off of Hayward before they could even consider.
I think they could still. It's just the middle of. I think they could get 9. I think they can afford him.
But if
he signs for like $8 to $9 million.
But if you're the Pistons, I mean, if he's about to get the
Just
mid-level
throw the bag
exception,
at him.
just give him $15 million. You don't even have to throw a bag.
Yeah. I guess that's why I think he's probably gonna stay in Detroit.
I mean, it's just some of these bad teams. You don't know what their goals are. You don't know.
Yeah,
that's true.
You don't know what the hell. Hey, let's keep Christian Wood. Christian Wood's like, okay.
Well, whenever you have some people saying he might get $20 million, some people saying he's gonna get a mid-level exception. Like somebody that usually that means to me someone's gonna overpay him for sure.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I just have no idea what people are willing to pay him or what he's even asking for or anything like that. So,
or if he's even like we have 20 games basically is what we're going off of.
Yeah, when Drummond got traded.
Yeah,
but he went nuts though. Like he played really well though. So
and they went 1-11.
And he can he can shoot the three. I think he's like shot like 40-something%.
Yeah,
three.
he can stroke it. He can play defense. Like he seems like a good player. But all we know is he was just the guy putting up points on a piece of shit team.
Yeah.
But he could end up being really good. Like it's a huge wild card. Who knows?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Yeah, I that one's tough. I don't know.
Jerami
Grant. Herm, you have him staying with the Nugs.
Yeah.
Brett, you have him going to the Mavs. And you know what? This is the one. This is the one time I would say bias, and I think the Mavs too, actually. Because I think
what is he?
Probably the most ideal free agent for Dallas.
Yeah, I agree.
Is he different than Maxey or Powell? Like what is he different? What does he do differently than those guys?
I think he just provides you more defense.
Yeah,
more shooting,
more depth. Yeah.
I don't know, bro. If I'm Dallas, I love
the idea of another defender, athletic, rim protector, rebounder on the Mavs. I mean, helping down low in any way that doesn't slow you down. You don't rely on him offensively. But the more KP is out, the more length I need. Because I don't have the size without KP. That's why I love Boban staying. Mm-hmm. I mean, you know what I'm saying? I love the idea of size. When in an NBA,
that's why I think that
where teams want to be small, I love the idea of size.
I think that's why I wanted
when I have a 6'8" point guard.
I like it. I wanted the Capella thing for Dallas a while ago, like whenever that was a possibility.
100%.
I want for Dallas, I want like a 5 that sets a hard screen, rolls hard to the rim.
Bro, those kind of centers that are like few and far between nowadays, to me, are such commodities that the league just forgets about now.
I've been saying
this on everyone's word.
I think Capella, Gobert.
Rolling centers are a dime a dozen.
That's what, huh?
Dude,
not good ones.
DeLon Wright was, or not DeLon Wright. Brandon Wright.
Brandon Wright.
Very solid.
That's what I'm saying.
Trade him away for nothing.
And what has that guy even stepped on an NBA court since then?
But that's where the Mavs are built different.
But that's what I'm saying. What's the point of going after Clint
Don't
Capella
pay
when you
Capella.
can bring in some homeboy from the G League and say, all right, run to the rim.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, I guess you're right. I guess
But
I think that should be.
Capella.
But how many?
Like Roby. Like
I mean, we had DeAndre Jordan. He did nothing.
He's old.
Facts.
Yeah, but
how many more fours do y'all want, bro? How many more fours do you
want? I'll take all the fours.
Jeremy can play Jeremy can play
all the fours. I think Denver likes what they're doing. I think Denver is. I think they are. I think they're onto something good. They have a lot of young talent. I'm not sure. Again, I don't know what Jerami Grant's his worth is going to be in the market either.
It's one of those. He's a player that can pretty much fit on any good team. So
to a certain extent, yeah.
If Denver kept him, I wouldn't be surprised.
I ultimately probably think he stays in Denver.
That's
but if he leaves,
saying.
I think the Mavs make a lot of sense.
Yeah. I don't want to throw him $25 million.
Oh hell no, he's not getting 25 mil.
Exactly.
No shot.
Does somebody like a Kendrick Dunn make sense for the Mavs?
No, I like DeLon Wright.
I would take Dragic. I would take Dragic on a really low deal.
Oh wait, no, Kendrick Dunn's.
Dragic's gonna get 20 mil, dude.
You think?
Yeah, I don't think so.
I didn't have.
Dragic
I forgot to put Dragic on here.
I think he'll get like 1 year 20. I think if he stays with Miami, he'll sign like a 1 year $20 million deal.
Did I say Kendrick Dunn?
None.
That's somebody that went to our high school. I meant to say. I didn't mean to say Kendrick Nunn. Oh my God, who's the dude from Chicago?
You're talking about Chris Dunn?
Oh, Chris Dunn?
Yeah.
Chris Dunn? Yeah, I'll take him.
A perimeter defender.
Defending,
100%.
But like, yeah,
he's a dog, bro.
For like cheap, probably.
Yeah, 100%. I would take Chris Dunn for sure.
Is he about to be off his rookie deal?
He's been rotting away in Chicago.
People seem to assume he's automatically going to the Clippers.
Okay.
I don't know. Okay, Dragic. I didn't put Dragic on here. He's staying in Miami, right?
I think 1 year, $20 million deal.
Oh, that sounds scary.
I thought low key. I thought
it's just 1 year. It's 1 year.
I thought the Bucks made a ton of sense for Dragic if you were to leave.
But if they're getting Dragic, they're not paying Gallinari.
They have a lot of cap, dude. They have a lot of cap.
They do have a lot of space too. Yeah, and I mean all their guys are young guys, right? They're on.
Yeah.
You mean even Bam? Bam's still on his rookie deal.
I feel like paying Dragic $20 million is just an L.
Could they go over the cap?
It's 1 year, bro. It doesn't matter.
Yeah, but
they just went to the finals.
I just don't think that's.
I would give him 1 year 20 if I'm them.
I mean, if you can run everyone else back too, I would probably do the same.
They could probably go over the cap to get him, right? He's been there for like 5 years.
Yeah, I think they might have his Bird.
You have to be there for like 3 years or something like that to have Bird. I don't know.
Yeah, he's on it. He's been with Miami for a long time now.
All right, Serge Ibaka, Brett as we go to the Mavs.
Give me all the fours,
man, the Mavs.
All the fours.
The Mavs are gonna be busy. Oh, so in Brett's world, the Mavs are leaving free agency with Jerami Grant, Danilo Gallinari, and Serge Ibaka.
No, I don't think Gallinari's coming.
All right, Herm, you have him going to the Lakers. I have him staying in Toronto.
I think he just mid-level exception with the Lakers.
To be fair, I wanted Ibaka
ring chasing a little bit.
For like his whole career, I wanted Ibaka in Dallas.
Ibaka on the Mavs. Actually, does Ibaka on the Mavs even make sense?
I think it does.
Ibaka on the Lakers makes a ton of sense.
Yeah.
I think Ibaka on the Heat makes sense depending on what Myers later does.
He's one of those players. He's gonna fit on a lot of good teams.
Yeah.
I mean, you put him on the Celtics, he'd help that team out immensely.
Yeah. I don't know if a mid-level exception will do it, dude. Because it's gonna be like once enough people start bidding on him, someone will be like, all right, fuck it, I'll give you 10 mil.
I'm just curious. I wonder if he wants to win a championship in LA, you know what I'm saying?
Or
he has
like one last big deal.
He has a cooking show too. You know what I'm saying? He'll be out here closer to the studio. You're laughing, bro. These people take this stuff seriously. They take their off the court.
No, he takes it seriously, but I don't think it's like more serious than basketball.
Dude, I mean,
he wants to line up the rest of his life. I'm sure he's like,
LeBron went to LA to shoot Space Jam 2.
Okay, well, no matter what team he's on, he's gonna be able to do the cooking show.
But you know what I'm saying? He's gonna be in California. Like that's it's
hilarious that
entertainment
paying hella taxes. Who wants to do that?
Toronto is like one of the biggest cities on the planet, but like everyone's like he can't wait to leave. Piece of shit, Toronto. It's like
No, Toronto's. I'm not down talking Toronto, but
Haven't NBA players though been like,
no.
"Yo, Toronto's not the move"?
No, they say it kind of sucks because of all the between country travel and
Yeah, moving through customs.
They hate that they don't get American cable.
Word. And I think they get paid in Canadian dollars
cable
too.
is awful, apparently.
Really?
I think they get paid in
who's
Canadian
even
dollars,
watching
and they have to
cable
like transfer their
anymore, bro?
money.
No one's watching
Yeah.
cable
Huh?
anymore.
No, that too. Like the whole money is like it's just a bitch.
No, I think they get paid in
Yeah.
American dollars.
I could be wrong.
Yeah, but if you're like in Canada, don't you have to use?
No, because I'm pretty sure our friend who worked in Denmark got paid in American dollars.
Yeah,
maybe
but
because
you're,
his
like,
company was American
But
based.
you're
Right,
like
the
you're,
NBA is
you're
American
using
based.
the other currency like when you're in that country.
I guess that's true.
Yeah.
Well, I would be shocked if Toronto doesn't accept the American dollar at most places.
Yeah, I would too. Though.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think that if he does come to the Lakers, it's going to be for the if he wants to take a pay cut because he's not going to be able to get a massive contract with the Lakers, and he probably would be able to get more money elsewhere. So I guess it just depends on where his motives lie, and I'll know a lot about him. If he doesn't come to our team, then he sucks.
He just wants to cook, dude.
I've seen
wants his
some
money.
I've seen a lot of people think Charlotte's getting people.
That's so ugly, bro. Who wants to go to Charlotte?
Like I'm guessing people think Charlotte's ready to throw a bag at someone. Like
He said
and
so
like you
ugly.
said, if Charlotte if Serge was like,
It's just-
damn, I could take the MLE in LA, or I could just accept
take it
this
back.
bag from Charlotte.
Let me take it back. I have family in Charlotte. Charlotte's a beautiful place.
I've never
Well, I
been
mean,
to
the
Charlotte, so I
team-
can shit talk it with impunity.
So what? They're gonna trade. They're gonna trade for Russell Westbrook.
Trade for
They're gonna-
Russ.
They're gonna go get Christian Wood, Ibaka.
Ibaka.
They're gonna
They're
build a dream
gonna sign
team.
Devontae Graham to a supermax.
Oh
go
my
trade for
God.
Gordon Hayward.
Devontae Graham Supermax is disgusting.
Uh,
I like
Hey,
him.
he's cold though.
Yeah, but
I forgot.
there's no way he gets a Supermax, bro. Is that a real thing?
No, I'm trolling. You have to have like X amount of years with a team to get that. No, I'm trolling.
All right, this one is it's so weird. Montrezl Harrell wins the Sixth Man of the Year, and then nobody talks about him. Brett doesn't even have a team listed.
Yeah, like who?
Yeah, we got question marks.
Herm has the Atlanta Hawks,
Yep.
which makes sense. I have the Toronto Raptors, but I want to say I don't think he goes there. I want to change my pick to the Suns.
Phoenix.
Because
Interesting.
it just makes sense. Like I said, I think the Suns are going to go for somebody. There's not a lot of people out there. I could see this being a semi-panic move. And then they put
That definitely makes sense.
Montrez at the 4,
Mhm.
have Ayton at the
Definitely.
5.
100%.
The same thing that you're saying about it being a panic move. There's not a lot of people out there. You want to throw some money at somebody. Is the same reason why I think Atlanta is going to do that, and I think it's going to be a brick. I think
Yeah,
that Atlanta's
he's
going to
be
try to.
awful.
I think they're going to try to throw a bag at him because I can't imagine Montrez and John Collins coexisting together.
Montrez, John Collins, and Clint Capella? How the fuck would that work?
Oh, Clint Capella's still there.
They
too.
could have Montrez at the
He's-
3?
Montrez at the, yeah. Okay, I might have to rethink that Montrez thing then too.
But some people are going to try to get him to... the only reason I put the Raptors originally was I thought if the Raptors lose Marcus Gasol and Serge Ibaka, they go and get like another big.
Yeah. Right. Yeah, that's a good point too. Because they'll need somebody.
Suns would
At
be
that 5
interesting for
position.
him. I'd have to agree with that.
Well, that's the only
And
reason why I said
I think Nick Nurse can probably figure something out. I think he can figure out something pretty good for Montrez on that team. I think, but then you're starting to rely on VanVleet a lot because Siakam. We all know Siakam's not that guy.
That's why we think
Yeah.
he's going to stay there, because if they lose VanVleet, they're going to be horrible.
Yeah, if they lose VanVleet, they should honestly consider if like Giannis signs a supermax and they lose VanVleet, the Raptors should blow it up 100%.
Yeah.
They should trade
exactly.
Kyle Lowry,
Siakam.
get off that Siakam contract before it really becomes bad because that will be terrible. You know,
If no one else is on this team, yes.
you know that I am a big time Siakam hater, and I have been even before he was sucking ass. So even early on in the
Respect it.
season when he was shooting like 60% from 3, I was like, dude, Siakam is a fucking joke.
Dude.
No, people thought he was turning into KD early in the season because he was shooting 50%. And I'm like,
Yeah,
what do you
no,
think?
no,
You think
no.
he just learned how to shoot 50%?
He was early MVP, like up there, like for like top 5 people.
Yeah,
were
and people
sleepers.
really
like,
thought that he was really
Siakam.
going to shoot 40% from 3 the
Siakam.
rest of the season. He's never done it ever in his life, and is the ugliest jump shot you've ever seen. All he can do is spin.
Dude, yeah, he's a spin cycle. Damn, Conley, tell us how you feel. Go ahead, man.
don't
No,
like
it's all right.
Siakam at
Lay down
all.
on the couch. Lay down on the couch. It's
just-
okay.
I
We're
don't
here
like
for you.
him, man. And
Nah,
the
his
only
ga-
reason why I'm even hating is because Raptors fans are so annoying about him.
he tricked all of us.
Otherwise, I wouldn't care.
He tricked the mess out of me. So, nah, I'm here for it.
So Brett, so what, Brett? You thinking maybe China
I
leave?
kinda like
Montrez
this.
retires.
Brett's
Honestly,
thinking maybe the Shanghai,
him go-
Shanghai
him going
Sharks,
Him going overseas makes a ton of sense.
the
yes.
Guangdong Tigers.
He's
No.
gonna go and play in Greece.
Montrez is not going overseas. I actually think the Clippers, low key, maybe Montrez goes out, tests the market, doesn't get what he wants, and the Clippers like, we'll bring you back, I guess.
Yeah.
No.
All right,
Who
this is the
cares?
last one we have.
I could care less.
6
Yeah.
points a game next year.
Here we have the last player, Rajon Rondo. We all have different destinations. Brett has Lakers.
Yeah, I don't see. Well, I guess no, Schroder. That was before Schroder, I think.
Herm, you have the Clippers.
Mm-hmm.
I have the Atlanta Hawks.
It seems
Okay,
like
I
the
wanna
Clippers
go last.
really want him.
I want to go last.
I think I'm going Clippers. It seems like the Clippers really want him.
Well, it seems like Rondo really wants the Clippers.
Isn't that weird to y'all though? Like why?
Okay, I'll go right now. Here's the reason
He's
why.
on a hate
Here's my
tour.
conspiracy hat's coming on. All right, Rondo. You know what I'm saying? Him back in Boston, late 2000s, early 2010s, dueling with LeBron. Right, dueling with those LeBron years, and when LeBron was in his end of this road in Cleveland, it's those years in Miami too, dueling with LeBron. There's something in him that still hates LeBron, and I think that he went to the Lakers. I mean, this is deep cut. Thank you, Rajon Rondo, for winning us our championship, for helping us win a championship. This is just deep cut. So maybe he still hates LeBron, and he goes to the Lakers, and he realizes how important he was to us, because he was very, very important to us.
Yes.
He realized how important he was to us. He's like, you know what? I'm gonna go, and everyone's laughing at the Clippers. I'm gonna go to the Clippers, and I'm gonna beat the Lakers. And so LeBron, at the end of the day, like, you can't do it without me. You can't beat me. All that.
That's interesting.
Deep
That is
deep
pretty
conspiracy
deep.
take.
That is pretty deep.
Why
Damn.
else would he want to go to the Clippers?
Yeah, I don't know. It does sound like the Clippers is gonna have it.
I don't know.
I saw a tweet today that the Hawks
the
were
Hawks.
the Hawks were thinking about throwing him a bag.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
that'd be a
I
big-
agree with you, Herm. The Hawks are about to do some dumb shit.
I think they are too. Yeah.
But I guess it's like a 2-year deal. It doesn't really matter.
I'm all for it. I'm all for it.
Yeah. I mean, I don't.
Man, I like Trae Young though, dude.
It
I
kind
want
of,
Trae Young
it kind
to
of makes
kinda do
sense.
well.
Like if you know you're not going to compete, Rondo can come in and show. I mean, Rondo used to be a really good defender.
Yeah.
And he still is a decent defender, a pretty good defender.
Mhm.
Show Trae Young maybe how to, because Trae Young physically doesn't have the tools to ever be a good defender. But
Right.
maybe Rajon shows him some things to help boost his defensive IQ, so he can make up for his horrible frame.
Yeah. No, agreed. And my thing about I mean, I say the Clippers too, but unless they have another guard, another point, like, because he can't be their point guard for 80 games or 70 games, however many games, 72 games, I think. He can't be their point guard for that long, bro. You can see he broke down on us, and then he finally got healthy just at the right time, and then it was like the third, fourth most important piece on our team. So if he goes to the Clippers, they need to have some other. They need to have another idea or like a more formidable starting point guard for the regular season.
Man, that is a deep conspiracy.
Super deep, man. Who knows? That shows a lot of animosity in Rajon Rondo's heart. I mean, I hope he doesn't have that animosity in his heart.
I could see it.
But it sounds pretty wild. It sounds wild, man.
I could see it.
If we're talking about the James Harden thing at the top of this podcast, we're talking about him just playing mind games on Fertitta to get him somewhere, then who knows? This isn't too crazy for the Rondo thing. I don't know.
That is true. Like wanting to, like, it sounds like he just wants to leave the Lakers and go to the Clippers. That is a little weird.
I
I don't know. Yeah. Is it do the Clippers really want him, or like is he showing interest in the Clippers? Like, I don't know what's really happening
Well,
there.
the tweet
either, to be honest.
I saw from the Hawks was that the Hawks want to throw him a bag, but Rondo did not want to go, and he wants to go to the Clippers.
So there's some motivation on his end, eh? I don't know, man. All
That
right.
kind of makes
I
sense.
wonder where that. Hey,
That kind of makes
slightly
sense.
biased. You heard it here first.
I don't know. You'd like to think there's not that much hate in his heart, but I guess it's possible. But certainly Rondo is realistic with himself, and he realizes at this stage of my career, I am not dueling with LeBron James on any
Yeah.
level.
So he's like, I'm just gonna just to do the little poking and prodding everywhere I can.
Oh, who knows? Okay.
He seems like a very calculated man too.
He does.
Mm-hmm.
Anything about the draft? I don't know anything about these draft dudes.
I don't know. I mean, either LaMelo. I don't know. I still like LaMelo.
I like the idea of LaMelo.
There's
Yeah,
some,
the idea of it,
there's
good
some
point.
interesting players, I think, in this draft, but it's not very deep. It's not a deep draft. But there's some interesting players.
Anytime I hear about Carson Edwards, I think, oh, that sounds like a nightmare of a number one pick.
Anthony Edwards.
Anthony
Anthony
Edwards.
Edwards.
Yeah.
Anthony Edwards.
He's not gonna go number 1. It seems like LaMelo's the consensus pick.
Yeah,
Which is crazy to me, though.
it's every time I hear
I mean,
Anthony
that's
Edwards, he's like
It
he's
just
very
seems
raw.
Like he has the highest potential.
He's 6'7"
Yeah.
point guard, can shoot.
Yeah.
I do like Edwards, man. Though.
But it's like every time I hear about Edwards, it's like as of right now, he can't shoot, he can't dribble all that well. He's not a good defender. He needs to become a better passer. He needs to do. It's like that's a lot of needing to do.
he can shoot. Though.
We'll see. I'm rooting for him.
I haven't watched him.
No reason to not root for him. I haven't watched him either. It's just what I see it from like draft reports.
Yeah.
We'll see.
I guess James Wiseman's. I mean, I guess not because there would be no reason.
He's up there. He's like number 2.
Yeah.
There'd be no reason for the Wolves.
Those
to take
three
him.
guys. I don't know the order, but it seems like those 3 guys are going to be the top 3.
Oh, I'm excited.
Yep.
I'm excited to see what the Warriors do.
Yeah, there's gonna be some interesting trade stuff on draft night too that we're not even foreseeing. So
Like,
Dopey. Yep.
Do the Warriors draft Wiseman, or do they trade for
somebody.
a star?
Yeah. Do they move off of it? Right. I don't even know. Like, what's going to be worth that? What other teams are valuing this number 1 overall pick for?
That's the thing. It sounds like is like these picks don't have value.
Yeah, and like, do you draft someone and then trade the player, or do you just trade the pick? So then, like, it leaves it up to them to sort of decide whoever they want as that first pick. So I don't know.
We'll see. All right.
All right,
GGs.
fellas. Yeah.
We'll talk to y'all later.
NBA, baby, in a month.
We already back.
In a
Quick
month.
turnaround.
What the
Yo.
hell? That's nuts. I guess they had like a 3 to 4 month break. So
Yeah.
Well, some of them.
Well, yeah. The other
Well,
guys.
I'm saying from when the season closed to when the bubble opened.
Was it October?
Mm.
When did it finish?
It finished in October. I'm saying that the season ended what, in March?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, when the bubble. Yeah. They had that gap. Yeah, you're right. Yeah.
Okay.
All
Bye bye.
Later.